You know the word, you've known it your whole life, and right now, it's gone. You're in the middle of a sentence. Two or three people are looking at you, waiting, and the word, an ordinary, everyday word you have used 1,000 times, just isn't there. You can feel the shape of it. You might even know what letter it starts with. You just can't say it, so you stall. You say the thing. You make a small circle with your hand, and someone politely finishes your sentence for you. Here's what I want you to hear first. That moment is not a sign that your memory is failing. What just happened to you is one of the most carefully studied glitches in the entire science of language, and it happens to 20-year-olds too. The difference is that at 50, you notice, and you don't just notice, you interpret it. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what your brain was doing during that silence. Because once you understand the mechanism, the fear goes out of it, and you'll know how to get the word out faster next time. Researchers have a name for this. They call it a tip-of-the-tongue state, and it isn't a poetic phrase. It's a measurable event in a laboratory. Scientists can trigger it on purpose, count how often it happens, and watch what pulls people back out of it. Which means everything I'm about to tell you comes from studying this exact moment over and over. Now here's the part almost nobody knows. A word is not stored in your brain as one thing. It's stored as two. There's the meaning, what the word refers to, everything you know about it, and separately, there's the sound, the actual syllables your mouth has to produce. Two different parts, in two different places, connected by a link. Normally that link fires so fast you never notice there was a gap at all. You think of the idea, the sound arrives, you speak. A tip-of-the-tongue state is what happens when the meaning fires perfectly and the sound only partly arrives. That's exactly why it feels the way it feels. You're not blank. Blank would be easier. You are holding the meaning in your hands. What you don't have is the sound. Think of your vocabulary as a library. In this moment, the book is on the shelf. It never left. The problem is the catalog card, the little slip that tells you where to reach. The book is right there and you can't point at it, and there's a strange piece of evidence that this is about sound, not about memory. Researchers notice something they call the Baker-Baker effect. Show two groups of people the same photograph of a man. Tell the first group, this man is a baker. Tell the second group, this man's name is Baker. Same sound, same face. Days later, the group who learned the job remembers it far better than the group who learned the name. Why? Because Baker, the job, connects to bread, to flour, to an oven, to a warm kitchen, dozens of routes leading back to the sound. Baker, the name, connects to nothing. It's a sound hanging by a single thread. That's why names go first, not because they matter less to you, because they're wired with less. So why does this happen more now than it did at 30? 3 reasons, and none of them is the one you're afraid of. The first is that those meaning-to-sound links get thinner with age. It's one of the most consistent findings in this field. Thinner links, more moments where the signal doesn't fully arrive. The second is almost flattering. You know more words than you did at 30. A larger vocabulary means more near misses crowding the same shelf. And the third is the one you can actually do something about. State, poor sleep, high stress, and doing 3 things at once make this measurably worse at every age. A tired brain transmits worse. That's why the word vanishes in the meeting and comes back to you in the shower. Now, since you're here, you probably want the honest line between normal and not normal. The health agencies draw it in a way that's more useful than you'd expect. Struggling for a word and remembering it later sits on the normal side of that line. It comes back. It's usually a specific or rarely used word, and the conversation goes on. What's worth a conversation with your doctor is different in kind, not in amount. Losing everyday words. Calling familiar objects by the wrong name. Real difficulty following or joining a conversation, and Word trouble, that clearly gets worse over weeks and months, instead of staying roughly the same for years. I can't diagnose you, and no video can, but if you recognize the first description and not the second, then what you're experiencing has a name and a mechanism, and it isn't disease. This kind of research is what Cognitive Insight Lab covers every week. If you want to keep up, subscribing takes 2 seconds. So what do you actually do in the moment? First, and this is the counterintuitive one, stop chasing it. The harder you push on a wrong candidate word, the more you strengthen the wrong one. Let it go for 30 seconds, and the right word very often surfaces on its own. Second, go for sound, not for meaning. Thinking harder about what the word means doesn't help you already have the meaning. What does help is quietly running through the alphabet or trying a first syllable out loud. In the research, sound-based cues are what pull people out of these states. Meaning-based cues mostly don't. Third, use the word again within a day or two. Every use thickens the link. The words that hide are the ones you rarely say. And underneath all three, sleep and load. This is a transmission problem, and transmission is worse in a brain that is underslept and overloaded. Protecting your sleep isn't a soft suggestion here. It's the same mechanism. That's also the honest reason some people start paying attention to what they give their brain day to day. Blood flow, choline, the raw materials of signal transmission. If you want to see the approach I'd look at first, it's the first link in the description. So the next time it happens, mid-sentence, people waiting, the word right there and out of reach, you'll know what that silence actually is. Not a memory failing. A signal that didn't quite arrive. The book is on the shelf. It always was. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this made that moment a little less frightening, a like helps other people find it, and I'll see you in the next one. This video is for informational purposes only and is not medical advice. Please talk to your healthcare provider about your own situation.